Gundam.tk presents High Grade AGE-1 Sparrow. Hey again everybody, it's Robert184, 2 R's 2 B's from Gundam.tk, which is GundamReviews.net, and the High Grade AGE-1 Sparrow, the third wear from the first generation, is all complete, which means the plates are empty and it's time to take a look at the completed parts. Certainly not a lot of parts in this, with just the head, the limbs, and I've kept one of the feet apart just to show you how that goes together. But in terms of weapons, it's just the Shigo blade and 2 extra manipulators. Bottom to top, I think the legs are going to kick things off with a bang because they do look sharp, and that's because of the color apps all over the place. I'm talking about the fact that up here you've got the regular hips that we've come to see, and this can bend up and down, but more importantly is it's actually covered up on the outside, and with very small waist skirts that's actually going to be pretty visible. And this white part down here in the foot, including on the bottom and on the ankle, even though it's a little loose and can come off, hopefully it's not going to pop the foot right off, those extra color apps make all the difference, combined with the fact that they've got these cool little bullet looking things that are just going to give you a really nice lining opportunity. I put some black on the blue and some gray down here, and everything is looking pretty good. In terms of mobility, you're able to bend the knee like this and like this, so you're going to get a 135, and when you bend it down you're going to get the needle gun, which isn't as pronounced as you'd like it to be. This is going to be the extent of it, but it's still more interesting than a regular knee, if you don't mind that big block of gray being there in the middle. It was a lot of fun putting the Sparrow together just because there's so many interesting parts to the construction. So if you look at the way that this thigh is going to attach on, you just slide it in there, and then once you've done that, you'd think that that's not going to be too secure until you can seal it up with this blue piece, which provides the front armor and actual structural support. So again, a fun and interesting build. Which carries into the waist section, because even though it is pretty plain and you've come to see pretty much more of the same from what we've seen with the Titus, here you're able to bend this part down, which you'll see in a moment, and the yellow looks good on the blue, although you can see the way that it's put together ever so slightly from the front. That won't be a big issue once you put the legs in. The hips are going to move this way and rotate this way. You've got a cap to attach the action base to it, and the front is looking very good, revealing all 4 standard colors with just enough tick marks to put some lining in and make it look sharp. Straight to the weapons with the blade here, you've got 2 gray parts that when you put it together you can put some lining in there if you choose. You've got a nice white part, and you'll notice that there's this little indent here and there's an indent there in the white part, and that's actually reflected in the stickers, which I haven't applied yet. And that is the point where you're going to bend this down and attach it into the waist. And it's sort of cool that they had the foresight to not put sticker there, because otherwise you'd be gumming that up pretty bad. However, I think I'm going to try to paint the blade at some point first before applying the stickers, just in case the paint job doesn't turn out well. Building the chest for the Sparrow was the first time that I felt it was repetitive, because it's exactly the same as the normal. At least when I put the Titus together, the shoulders were a different color, but with the Sparrow's main color being blue, I wonder if they couldn't put some gray in there if they had chosen to as the secondary color. However, it's a great chest in terms of just mobility. Everything can move where you'd expect it to. The shoulders are going to go up and down. You've got that great looking sticker and those clear yellow vents that expose the black underneath. Everything looks good, again, just a little bit repetitive. But the arms are going to more than make up for that, just because of, again, how many color apps you've got in such a small piece. Starting with the shoulders, are going to be very skinny when you look at them in the front, and you have a polycap there which is going to attach on, but how's this for a bonus. This white part, which the advanced grade certainly doesn't have, it's all blue up there, is going to open up to allow the shoulders to sit straight while the arm can come off, which is going to add to some dynamicism, I'm sure. You can rotate it around here, and the bend, though, at the elbow, somewhat disappointing in that it's only going to give you 90 degrees, and about 45 if you want to go back, although I don't know why you would. When I looked around the box, you don't see any bends more than that, so I don't think I made a mistake in the construction. But down here, you're going to have the additional bonus of this white trim, which again the AG does not have, and these thrusters are going to open up. They're not going to show off anything too fancy on the inside, but it still just adds a little bit more of an interesting effect, combined with the fact that we've got a right hand here that's being dynamic, and this is one of the most unique and interesting Gundam arms I've built in quite a while. The left arm is going to be more of the same, except for the fact that you've got a fist manipulator there, which is all sealed up, and if you want to swap those out, you can have the regular holding hands here, one for either side. The head of the AGE-1 is certainly a nice throwback to the RX-78-2, and even though I built it 3 times, I'm impressed with it every time because it's got good deep channels there on the faceplate, and you've got some black parts there that you can put in, some black there on the ears, not too easy to get in, and if you have a little bit of green paint around, it's certainly going to add to that sticker, which is already looking good, but it can look that much better if it actually flops down to the side. So just put a little bit in, let it fall down and fall into place. And I mentioned for the Titus that I thought about how would this look in red. Somebody commented, and they were kind enough to do so, that it actually looks really good, so I wonder how this one would look in blue. If I actually had the right Gundam Age blue marker, I might actually think about giving that a shot, but if you do, why don't you let me know what you think of that idea. Overall, I have to say that this kit was a lot of fun to get put together just because the construction was interesting, as was the design, especially in the fact that you've got some pretty unique looking legs. The way they're put together, the bends, and the fact that they've got the little gimmick at least in the knees is looking good. I was somewhat concerned about the amount of white in there. I'm talking about the feet and the ankles and in the wrists, compared to the advanced grade where it doesn't have anything like that, and I actually really like the looks of this. So far it's not going to be a problem, but we'll have to see how it looks in MS mode. The waist and chest are great, but those unique arms and the thrusters and all those colors, you can even see it from here, to have the blue, white, and gray in such a small space is just fantastic on a 1/144th. The blade a little bit disappointing that didn't come in clear green or something like that, as we've gotten used to with seeing the Master Grade 00s and things like that. Combined with a sharp head, can't wait to put it together, so why not stay tuned for the next part where I'll do just that. And you can let me know what you think of the parts, the MS, the video, and everything else with a comment down below. Please like if you do, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any other videos. Lots more to come. Thanks for watching. Bye. Whatever you do, don't order the duck.